Tonight at Anfield Central, history was written in red. Mo Salah's moment against Newcastle did not just win points for Liverpool, it pushed him past Wayne Rooney and Thierry Henry, placing him in elite Premier League history. And that is not all. Szoboszlai has spoken again about his future after another standout performance in a role he was never meant to play. His words are raising serious questions inside the club. But stay with us, because later we look at a dramatic deadline day scenario that could reshape Liverpool's squad, a transfer that almost happened but collapsed after one phone call, and a past conversation involving Jurgen Klopp that is guaranteed to divide opinion. This is Anfield Central, your home for Liverpool stories that matter. If you want the full picture, not just the headlines, make sure you subscribe now and stay with us till the end.
Mo Salah's Newcastle moment sees him land a record ahead of Wayne Rooney and Thierry Henry. Mohamed Salah made Premier League history at Anfield as Liverpool hammered Newcastle, even on a night when the Egyptian did not find the net himself. His assist in the win proved decisive in breaking a long-standing record in English football. That contribution took Salah to an astonishing 152 goal involvements at a single Premier League ground. His Anfield total now stands at 107 goals and 45 assists, moving him clear of Wayne Rooney's 151 at Old Trafford and Thierry Henry's 151 at Highbury. Rooney's tally was made up of 101 goals for Manchester United, while Henry's included 114 goals and 37 assists for Arsenal. Salah now stands alone at the top, setting a benchmark that may take years to be matched. This record arrived during a difficult individual season for the Liverpool forward. He is yet to reach double figures in the league and is on course for his lowest goal-scoring return since joining the club, with questions growing around age and long-term form. Despite signing a lucrative new contract less than a year ago, Salah's future beyond this season remains uncertain. Those doubts intensified after his comments following December's draw at Leeds, where he said the club had thrown him under the bus and admitted he had no relationship with head coach Arne Slot, who had regularly benched him. On the pitch, Liverpool badly needed a response after a 5-game winless league run and a late defeat at Bournemouth. That pressure increased when Anthony Gordon gave Newcastle an early lead at Anfield. The response was immediate and emphatic. Hugo Ekitike sparked the comeback just 5 minutes later as Liverpool recovered from falling behind for the first time since April and went on to dominate the contest. After the match, Arne Slot praised his side's mentality and defensive resolve. He said Liverpool showed not just the ability to come back, but the hunger to defend their own box and attack with real intent at the other end. For Salah, the night may be remembered less for goals and more for history. Even amid uncertainty and scrutiny, he continues to redefine what is possible in the Premier League at Anfield.
Szoboszlai gives intriguing contract update after another makeshift masterclass. Arne Slot described Liverpool's comeback win over Newcastle as one of the most satisfying performances of the season, and it was not hard to see why. Hugo Ekitike's 2 goals underlined his growing importance, Florian Wirtz continued his smooth adaptation to the Premier League, and Ibrahima Konate marked an emotional return with a goal following the passing of his father. Beyond the headline moments, there were quieter positives that pleased Slot just as much. Mohamed Salah did not score, but he remained a constant threat, dragging defenders away and providing the assist for Wirtz's goal. Liverpool's numbers with Salah on the pitch also stood out. The Reds have scored 15 goals in the 4 matches since his return from AFCON, compared to 11 in the 7 games he missed, a contrast that has not gone unnoticed. Salah even tracked back to support Liverpool's makeshift right-back, although Szoboszlai hardly needed much help. Once again, the Hungarian midfielder delivered a commanding display in an unfamiliar role. Arguably Liverpool's most consistent performer this season, Szoboszlai made it clear that playing at right-back is not part of his long-term vision. He said the role was not even a medium-term idea in his head, stressing that he is a midfielder and hopes to return to the centre once Liverpool's injured right-backs are back. His importance to the squad has naturally raised questions about his contract situation. Szoboszlai has over 2 years left on his current deal, and within the club there are figures who already see him as a future captain. However, the midfielder admitted there has been little movement in talks so far. Asked directly about progress, he said there was nothing yet, and described the situation as not being in his hands. Szoboszlai added that he enjoys the city, the club, his teammates, and playing at Anfield, making it clear he would love to stay. Still, he acknowledged that negotiations can go back and forth and that the future remains uncertain. While there is no immediate cause for concern, Liverpool are aware of his rising profile. Even during a difficult title defence, the 25-year-old is establishing himself as one of Europe's standout midfielders, with reports in Spain linking Real Madrid to a potential interest. Given his influence and relatively modest position among Liverpool's top earners, it is a situation many expect the club to address sooner rather than later.
Liverpool's deadline day simulated as Mo Salah future decided and £40 million signing made. With pressure mounting and time running short, Arne Slot may yet look to the transfer market as Liverpool try to steady an underwhelming campaign. After winning the title last May, the Reds now find themselves playing catch-up on league leaders Arsenal, a situation few expected at this stage. Given the heavy spending in the summer, a quiet January felt likely, but the question remained over how Liverpool might react if reinforcements were needed. To explore that, Liverpool's January window was simulated on Football Manager 26, offering a glimpse into how deadline day could unfold. In the simulation, Liverpool remain firmly in the title race. By the close of the window, they sit second on 56 points, just 3 behind Manchester City, keeping hopes of back-to-back league titles alive. Concerns around centre-back depth quickly shaped the virtual strategy. Despite those worries, the club's significant summer outlay clearly limited activity, with just one incoming transfer completed across the entire January window. That arrival came right at the deadline. Slot turned to the Eredivisie and to familiar territory by signing PSV defender Ryan Flamingo to bolster the backline. Liverpool spent £37 million on the 23-year-old, who arrived on a £75,000 a week deal. Flamingo, described in the FM database as a Liverpool fan and a natural partner for Virgil van Dijk, is now valued at up to £66 million in the simulation. Mohamed Salah's future was another major talking point. In real life, speculation followed his fallout with Slot after being benched, with Salah accusing the club of throwing him under the bus before briefly being left out of the squad. In the simulation, however, the situation remains calm. The dust settles, Salah stays put, and he remains at Anfield until at least the end of the season, suggesting the club will address his future later rather than on deadline day. There were no permanent exits in January. Instead, all outgoing moves came as loans, allowing Liverpool to protect their long-term depth while giving youngsters valuable experience. Highly rated teenager Ryon Gun Mohar joined Derby, where he's already made an impact with appearances, an assist and a man-of-the-match display. Elsewhere, Trey Coney-Doherty moved to West Brom, Trey Nyoni to Preston and goalkeeper Armin Pexi to Swansea, all on championship loans. Despite spending heavily in the summer, Liverpool made no effort to balance the books mid-season, reinforcing the sense that Slot's squad is largely set until the summer window. Elsewhere in the league, Manchester City dominated deadline day headlines, spending a combined £130 million on Lucas Torreira from Galatasaray and Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth. City's activity accounted for roughly a third of the Premier League's net £311 million spend. Outside England, the biggest move saw Rafinha leave Barcelona to Al Ittihad in a £69 million deal, underlining how active the global market remained while Liverpool largely stood firm.
I nearly joined Liverpool, but one phone call had me packing my bags. As the January transfer deadline approaches, Liverpool fans are once again reflecting on deals that almost happened. One of those near misses was Hugo Viana, a player who came close to joining the Reds before a single phone call changed everything. Viana, now Manchester City's director of football, was a highly rated prospect in 2001 after an outstanding debut season with Sporting CP. At 19, he was attracting serious Premier League interest as he prepared to make a major move. Newcastle ultimately won the race, with then-chairman Freddie Shepherd describing Viana as just the player Bobby Robson wants to spearhead our Champions League bid. Shepherd went further, claiming there was a belief the Portuguese midfielder was the best young player in the world. Liverpool were firmly in the picture. Gerard Houllier personally spoke to Viana, while Portugal teammate Abel Savio urged him to choose Anfield and become a fan favourite on the Kop. At the time of the 2002 World Cup, Viana admitted he had not made a final decision. Several clubs were interested, and Liverpool's history and stature left him torn and unsure about his next step. Everything changed after a short conversation with Sir Bobby Robson. Viana revealed that within 5 to 10 minutes of speaking to the legendary manager, his mind was made up in favour of Newcastle. Robson's familiarity with Viana, his previous work at Sporting, and his status as a respected figure in Portugal helped forge an instant connection. Crucially, Robson reassured him that he would be given time to adapt to life in England without pressure. Viana joined Newcastle without even visiting the city beforehand, later describing it as an amazing place with fans who live and breathe football. He spoke warmly of the atmosphere and passion at St James's Park. From a Liverpool perspective, the move did not turn into a missed opportunity on the pitch. Viana struggled to meet expectations in England, scoring just 4 goals and providing 9 assists across 61 appearances for Newcastle. Looking back, Viana insists he has no regrets about his career choices. He says he never dwells on what-ifs, believing football careers are shaped by moments beyond a player's control and the ability to adapt to reality.
Jurgen Klopp told former assistant he would take Man City job despite Liverpool vow. Jurgen Klopp has previously spoken about the idea of working at Manchester City, and those comments have resurfaced after a revealing admission from his former assistant, Pep Linders. Linders has confirmed that Klopp actively encouraged him to join Man City after Pep Guardiola personally convinced him with his intensity and vision. The Dutch coach took up the assistant manager role under Guardiola last summer. After leaving Liverpool alongside Klopp in 2024, Linders briefly worked at Red Bull Salzburg before becoming open to a return to the Premier League. Despite his deep Liverpool ties, the City opportunity quickly became too strong to turn down. Linders explained that Guardiola's passion made the decision clear almost immediately. He described Guardiola's understanding of the game as being from a different planet and said the connection felt right from the first call. He admitted that walking away from a decade at Liverpool was not easy, but he felt proud to join a club of City's stature and recent success. Linders also revealed Klopp's reaction when he asked for advice. According to Linders, Klopp jokingly but clearly pushed him toward the move, saying that if he did not take the role, Klopp himself would take the assistant job at City. Those comments contrast with Klopp's own firm public stance on English football. The former Liverpool manager has repeatedly insisted he would never manage another English club. Speaking last year, Klopp said he would not coach a club or national team for at least a year and made it clear that England was off limits beyond Liverpool. He stated that managing another English club was 100% not possible. For Linders, Guardiola's relentless pursuit of perfection was a major factor in his decision. He compared the City boss to elite performers who constantly push themselves to new limits. Linders said Guardiola's professionalism, ambition, and daily drive to make an impact stood out, but he stressed that Guardiola's greatest strength is the passion he shows toward his players and staff. He highlighted the family atmosphere inside the club and the way Guardiola treats his backroom team, describing it as a key reason why City continue to thrive. Attention now turns back to the pitch, with Manchester City preparing to face Tottenham on Sunday. A week later, they travel to Anfield, a stadium that still carries huge personal significance for Linders. Despite the emotional return, Linders insists there will be no divided loyalties. He made it clear that his focus will be purely professional. Linders admitted Anfield will feel special, particularly for his family, but said his mindset will be simple. He is there to win and to try to beat Liverpool.